Let's do this. Let's do this. Well, GPD wants smoke with the Steam Deck, man. GPD Win fans want smoke with the Steam Deck fans, man. Hey, Steam Deck fans, GPD came to play. Where the Steam Deck was in 3 flavors, the GPD is in 4. 3 versus 4. Let's do this. This is gonna be crazy. Look, listen to the flavors that the GPD comes in. What's up, Steam Deck fans? Listen to this. 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. 16 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD. They went for the jugular with this one. Listen to this. 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD. Yeah, GPD wants smoke with the Steam Deck. But you know, Steam Deck fans is like, we want all the smoke too. Bring it. Anyway, listen to this. GPD Win 4. By the way, the GPD is like the PSP. This is Soul Calibur, by the way, folks. This is Soul Calibur on the PSP, man. You Soul Calibur fans, come get some. Anyway, the GPD, the screen slides up, right? And then there's a keyboard under the screen. This screen slides up, right? It slides up. There's a keyboard under the screen. But then one analog stick is here, D-pad is down, right? Buttons are up, and one analog stick down here. That is a GPD for you. And they're coming in the flavor of 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. 16 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD. And now they're flexing. 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD. So where the Steam Deck comes in 3 flavors, the GPD comes in 4. And they're flexing. But now it comes down to the price. You know, it comes down to the price. Listen to this. Let me cut this off here. Oh my God. Okay, Calibur, take a break. Take a break, take a break, take a break. Alright. Says here, GPD Win 4 company boasts that new console is better than Steam Deck in launch date and specification announcement. It says GPD has confirmed all specification for the Win 4. Its Radeon 6080M and Ryzen 7 680U powered gaming handheld. Not only has the company outlined the Win 4 specification, but it has also announced its launch date. For some reason, GPD keeps gunning for the Steam Deck 2. But you know what? Steam Deck fans is like, they want all the smoke. They've been ready. Let's go. Anyway, says here, GPD has now shared all the technical specification for the Win 4, a device that it has been testing for weeks or so on social media. While pricing remains a mystery, one netbook has shared how much the similarly equipped One X Player Mini Pro will cost in the US. Hence, we doubt that the GPD Win 4 will retail for less than US $1,000, particularly as it comes with at least 1 terabyte of storage and 16 gigs of RAM. It says here, as for the Win 4, GPD claims that the device will support Windows 11 Home 64-bit as well as Steam OS. As expected, the handheld has a 6-inch IPS display operating at 1920 by 1080. The Pixel with DC dimming support. For reference, the display is a native landscape panel, is protected by cornering Gorilla Glass, and can run at 40 Hz or 60 Hz. Incidentally, the 386 PPI panel is powered by the Ryzen 680M and Ryzen 7 680U. It says plus LPDDR5 6400 RAM, a PCIe Gen 4 x 4 SSD, and a 45.62 watt battery. Yeah, GPD came to play, man. They came to play. But Valve was ready. That's why Valve put the Steam Deck 2 out there. Anyway, it says, bizarrely, GPD continues to pit the Win 4 against the Steam Deck, not the Win 3 or any other Ryzen 7 6800U. Says here, powered gaming handheld. Instead, the company has created a comparison table on its website in which it outlined all the way the Win 4 outperformed the Steam Deck. Specifically, GPD stresses that the Win 4 has a smaller footprint than the Steam Deck while delivering superior. Valve, you opened a can of worms. Says here, Geekbench benchmark scores and offering more RAM storage and a larger battery. Everybody always taking shot at the Steam Deck with the battery. But remember, this is Valve first handheld. They'll fix it. Don't be surprised if they put a 24-hour battery inside the Steam Deck 2. Anyway, it says here, setting that aside, GPD announced that the Win 4 will launch in December, presumably through an Indigo campaign based on GPD's technical specification. The Win 4 will arrive in at least 3 memory configuration, possibly 4. I'm going to read the 4 again. 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. 16 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD. And now we're going to step our game up here. Now we go to the big boys. 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD. GPD came to play, folks. Yeah. And they came to play. So now it comes down to the pricing. And basically the GPD is just like the PSP. It's just like the PSP. One analog stick here, D-pad down here. Buttons are up here, and one analog stick here. This screen now, it slides up, and there's a keyboard underneath. And they come in 16 gigs of RAM or 32. 4 flavors versus 3. Pick one. Now it comes down to the price. They came to play, man. Speed, power and specs. Speed, power, performance. Video games, very high demanding. And GPD came to play. Valve might got GPD beat in the price. The Steam Deck already has 16 gigs of RAM, but GPD went even further. They said 32. And then you have 256. You have 256. No, you have 64 bits, 256, 512. But good thing Valve did that teardown video, so you can, so that you know that you can like replace the SSD and the hard drive in the back of the Steam Deck. GPD came to play, folks. Now it comes down to the price, and now it also comes down to, can you afford it? Can you afford it, or were you saving your money, like I was telling you guys when they announced this thing? 4 flavors versus 3. And those 4 flavors they're all coming with 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte. Versus a 64, 256 and 512. But the 64, 256, 512, they're replaceable. Meaning that you can swap the hard drives out. They both use Windows and Linux. I mean, the GPD used Windows. But Valve said they were going to bring Steam OS to their competitors. Yeah. I bet you Valve is working on the battery life for the Steam Deck too. Probably have a 24-hour battery in the Steam Deck too. And you best believe, probably the Steam Deck too, they probably have a replaceable SSD. Probably a replaceable CPU, GPU, replaceable APU. You probably could upgrade the RAM to whatever size you want. We'll see what they do with the Steam Deck too, but for right now, GPD came to play. The Steam Deck is still good, but this GPD, man, that's no joke. Yeah, speed, power, and performance, power and specs. Video games, very high demanding, and GPD came to play. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this article with this video for y'all to enjoy. 4 flavors versus 3. GPD Steam Deck. Yeah, they want smoke. Steam Deck been ready. But anyway, nice talking to you people again. Chris, it's still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing for Dark Side. Peace.